The community of Nelson House is gathering tonight to remember 3 young boys who were hit and killed by a vehicle Saturday. Family and friends identified the boys as 11-year-old Keithan Lobster, 11-year-old Moore-Spence, and 13-year-old Terrence Spence. CTV's Sarah Plowman joins us in the studio now with more. So Sarah, you've been speaking with the families today. How are they doing tonight?
Well, Gore, these families are in shock and they're devastated. Terrence Spence dreamed of being a mechanic one day. Keithan Lobster lost his mother last year and had been having a tough time, but recently I'm told he found his passion for the outdoors. As it turns out, their last day together, these friends spent it doing what they love, being outside. Trout Crescent in Nelson House is where a crew of young boys play. On this day, it's quiet. 3 of those children died Saturday, struck on the side of the road just north of Nelson House by an alleged drunk driver. Family and friends identified the boys as 11-year-old Keithan Lobster, a curious child who loved being social, 11-year-old Moore-Spence, a courageous guy with a big smile, 13-year-old Terrence Spence, a middle child who dreamed of being a mechanic. His father says he was loved by everyone.
I had a friend around here. And he was pretty active on playing sports.
Their last day alive was an adventure. They and 3 other friends packed a lunch and went fishing. They made their way north of Nelson House, where they played in a park and visited family, and carried on north to a camp. At around 10:30 Saturday night, when they were nearly home, walking and riding their bike, they were struck on the side of the road.
On their way home from a long day, they almost made it home. They were half a kilometer, no more than a kilometer away from home. They were right there.
RCMP have charged 27-year-old Todd Norman Linklater, also from Nelson House, in connection to the incident.
Impaired driving causing death, impaired driving with the blood alcohol concentration over 80 causing death, and fleeing the scene of an accident caused.
Dwayne Johnson Spence hasn't gone to the road where his son was killed, but he will, with the community alongside him for a vigil as he tries to find it in him to forgive.
I could forgive, but I can't forget.
And I mentioned that there were 6 boys on that adventure Saturday. 3 of them were right beside their friends and saw them be struck and killed. They survived but are having a very difficult time. Their uncle tells me they're getting counseling because really they're having trouble sleeping.
Now, Sarah, what do we know about what happened before the boys were hit by that vehicle? Where was it going? What was going on there?
RCMP told me that vehicle was on its way back from Thompson. They spoke with the other occupants. They tell me that it was actually one of the other people inside the vehicle who called 911 after it happened.
All right, thanks a lot, Sarah.